Yeah, usually I do it, but right now we need to figure out also how to do the delay, because stream sniping is very much possible.
It's fine. Have you got a delay on right now?
It's short enough, I think, but there's a delay.
Alright, okay. Right, hang on. I've got the stream right now.
AMZ said his internet gave up on him.
What's your dedicated server timer at just now?
Dedicated server? Don't know.
It should be like 24, 50 something, 40 something. Underneath where it says home in the top left.
Oh Jesus.
What's your timer at?
Wait, let me leave. Home, top left. 24 and a half.
Alright, okay, so I'm 10 seconds behind.
I mean, that's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, like it's on, like for me it's on 24, 25 now.
It was 15 pretty much now. So you're about 10 seconds behind. That's not really a problem. I'll I just start because everyone's here. I'll go into game chat and have a look. Oh, this 10 now. I'll go into game chat.
Baby!
Is everyone ready? Everyone ready?
Oh, that's hot. Woo! Love rematches.
Excuses this time, yeah?
I voted for
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's ready.
Okay, good luck guys.
Good luck.
We're gonna change the rules last minute. Change the rules.
Okay, I stuck in a sneaky up DeX there at the end. So, yeah. Favoritism already. I'm actually so close to my screen currently, it's scary. Because my controller needs charging, so. Big grip.
Right, okay. We've got a bot that makes it go live, so don't worry about the actual Discord.
Yeah.
Post it in the community one. So
Okay, so we're gonna see church defense first. Map bans are the same as the last time. Nothing different there. I don't know who McCann not find my kid is. Sure. Yeah. Gonna be a good game. Oh, I'm awful rusty with this.
Don't worry about it. Right. Would you like a bit of a recap as to what happened?
Sure.
Okay, doke. As in, like, okay, so like just kind of clear up some. We could talk about it. So like, what basically happened was there was this match has already been played, but we had some issues with certain people playing on the roster not being announced, and it wasn't really the fault of any of the teams, but it was recognised that it created an unfair advantage. So both teams agreed to rematch. So this is a rematch of a match that's already happened. In that particular match, it was Veiled who took it quite convincingly 7-2 while starting on attack as they are right now. Yeah, so it's fairly convincing, and we're going to see if the same thing is going to happen again. We have exactly the same operator bans, and it's the same, pretty much same time, same place as last week as well, because it was played on a Saturday evening. So conditions are optimal to be carbon copies from last week. I'm also going to disclose right now, I am extremely tired. So if I sound like death, that's why.
I don't know if it's just me or do I actually like this version of you. I don't know. I mean, I can't remember the older version of you either.
This version of me just kind of doesn't really want to live.
It's the more Irish version, I think. You know, you're closer to Irish.
It's more Irish.
That's what I think of
represents your
instantly.
country well.
I'm the one who pointed it out, so I mean. So Banner's already in kitchen on hatch. I think, is Jaeger roaming upstairs? Yeah, Jaeger is in bathroom, has been zoned out, and there are 3 roam clearers. And Capitao is lit after that. But, I mean, Jaeger in bathroom is risky because, I mean, you can't move, like, you're stuck there. If you get droned out, pretty much. Apart from that, I mean, it's nothing special. I don't think they're going dirt. Dirt is kind of... Dirt is like 2 years ago now. No one really goes to dirt tunnel anymore when attacking church.
Oh yeah.
I remember the old days
Yeah,
where you just pick yeah, where you just like pick Monty, Blitz, who else, like, just, I don't know, smokes, and then just rush in, plant, and you just win the round. Those days. So DeX do seem to be holding blue quite strongly here, but I don't think Veiled is it Veiled or Veiled?
I say veiled, as in like black veil.
I always said Veiled and Veiled. I just like
Veiled, what, like meat?
I don't know. I just like swap between Veiled and Veiled. I really don't know. But I mean, you're usually correct, so I'll say Veiled.
I am usually correct. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take
Ambiguous will get the kill onto the Thatcher. Is hatch open? I don't know if hatch is open or not, but it's only 10 seconds left. And it's a 2v1 out of nowhere. Plan needs to go down. C4 is out. Doesn't get the kill. Thermite is planting. In church. Will get the plant down. And Thermite will get the kill onto the oncoming mute. And what, that was a 4v4 with like 20 seconds left?
Yeah, like it was, the attacks did a good job of getting rid of that Jaeger very early on, but then after that it was like pretty much just a 9-man like game, until like you say, Bandit finally got rid of the Thatcher that was coming in, but like it was just too strong at the time. Just kind of ended up clustering together. But yeah, like like he pointed out, like that Jaeger just kind of got trapped a little bit in his roam. You know, perhaps a little bit, or you know, perhaps maybe some rotations out towards Jacuzzi wall, and maybe opening up the hatch would be cool. Just kind of give him some movement, because you know that Capital kind of bullied him in that shower block there. There wasn't really anywhere he could go.
Yeah. So we're gonna see another church defense. Sorry?
You having a party through there?
No, my parents just came back. I had to mind my brother, which is why I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to cast. But hey, I can.
That's fair enough. Get him on triple cast. That's good.
He could actually make the cast interesting. I don't know what he'd do, but it'd be interesting. Oh Jesus! Oh,
you talking about me or your brother?
Don't know.
Nah, I'm serious. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Like I just sit here with the spreadsheets and talk numbers. That's all I do.
Well, I mean, you're good at it, so
I have no knowledge of this game whatsoever. You, on the other hand, are affiliated very closely with one of his teams. It is, to my knowledge.
Who what?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you have a big hand in what happens with DeX in terms of like the team, like how they operate, practices and stuff like that.
Yes.
Obviously, this is their second match today. Can you kind of give me like an idea of like how they're feeling after the long and tough match that they had earlier today? What's their morale kind of going into this?
Surprisingly positive, actually. You know, I told them after the match, right, that match happened, let's focus on this next match that we have in what, like 4 hours time, and then tomorrow or maybe this evening we'll look back on both matches and see what happened. But they said, yeah, we've already moved on, you know, and you know, that was something. I know Alpha isn't playing this game, who has a massive part in DeX. He's like, you know, I guess the captain really of DeX. And he's not playing. I think he himself didn't want to play, as I think he didn't do too well against Veiled the last time, so he kind of opted himself out. But yeah, I mean, it's positive vibes around DeX so far. But a win here, I think, also puts us in a very good position for playoffs, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's all good so far. Morale, definitely solid.
Cool.
Not sure about Veiled.
Well, I mean, Veiled are in a tougher position than DeX right now when it comes to like playoff spots. Obviously, they're below them in the table, and if DeX were to win this, then that's going to make their lives even harder. On the flip side, if they do pick up a win here, then you know they make up ground on their closest competitors in DeX. Especially, I mean, it would be pretty horrible for DeX as well. That's 2 losses within 2 weeks, but obviously being played within the same day. But you know, even with 2 losses, it's still not impossible for them to make playoffs. So they just need to take this maybe a round at a time. Think about this game. They can focus on playoffs after tonight because it's been a long shift for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think DeX have, you know, DeX have already played what insane V3. I think. Have they played V3? I'm not really sure. My mind is gone today.
They have.
Yeah, they have played V3. So have they played they played a Yigo, or have they yet to play them? I'm not really sure. But I think they're in a good position.
They don't play Igo. They don't play any of the top teams anymore. And all the teams they're playing are kind of all around them at the minute.
Yeah,
for all of these mid-table teams.
Yeah, so they're in a decent position, which is why I think we're not, you know, too worried about the future. You know, we're fairly confident we're going to make playoffs because of it.
Well, confidence is key.
Yeah, confidence can win matches itself, as I've been told.
Well, speaking of, we're in round 3 now. We've had 2. We've just kind of been talking over this, but we've had 2 Church Arsenal defenses. The first one went the way of the attackers, so DeX opted to go back down there again, try and work a few things out, and they took that fairly convincingly. Nice strong shown by the Maestro there at the end, and they are now going up to CCTV and Cash Room, which for me personally is one of my more favoured sites in this map. I have a lot of fun playing on this site. I think it's strong and versatile, and I've really welcomed this site coming into the meta since the rework and everything. So yeah, like this is always a site I look forward to playing. Like, pretty much any top 4 site actually. I really like the Gym Bedroom. I like seeing how that's played too. One thing I will note is that Capital has been extremely powerful on this site when it comes to preventing the bandit trick, and I would have expected the Kai to come out as a result, but Ambitious is going to stick with the bandit. He's been pretty strong fit so far in the 2 rounds that we've seen.
Yeah, he's gone
he must
4
be
and 2.
confident. So, you know, like, I feel like if they could deal with the Capital somehow, then they'll be in a good spot. If they can't deal with the Capital, and, you know, with there being 2 hard breaches on the attack, it's going to be pretty difficult for Ambiguous or any of the defending team to be able to prevent control of that main wall. But we'll have to see how they deal with it. That's a tough task in itself.
Yeah, so we're
as you
going
can
to
see,
see...
the castle barricade on the main wall, so the main window there, so that will help in some way.
Yeah, they do have the IQ with the bridge charges that... Oh, voice crack. That can stop. They're going to do the Capitaro trick here. Not twick. Onto the main wall, which definitely has been shown now, as we see the ball drops down and that's the wall open, and Havana will get the kill onto the bandit as he just looks on in, what, despair? Dismiss? Whatever. I forgot my long words today, sorry, it's not a good day for me. But,
Despair, 7-letter word, pretty good in Scrabble.
we still see Castle in garage here. He has not been pushed as of yet. Doesn't look like he's going to be pushed either. Unless this Thermite who's coming down will, but no, he won't. Are they gonna now swap around to a construction push, as we do see Valkyrie right here. C4 out, won't get the kill onto the Capitar, who does just walk by and live. Valkyrie now knows that window's open and will get the kill onto the Capitar, will run out, will strongly damage the Thermite, but just won't get the kill, and now it's a 3v3 with 1 minute 20 seconds left. I'm out of breath. It's not a good day.
It's been a long day, it has. It's been a long day for everyone involved. The players in this match and ourselves as well. I am very slowly losing my voice already. And it's only 2 rounds, well 3 rounds now into it, so, but we'll pull through.
Hopefully. So we're going to see Jaeger get a kill onto the Thermite. That's a 3v1 with 50 seconds left. That's all down to the Thatcher. Diffuser also down, and Jaeger... Now, Castle and Mute are low. Are on low HP, which helps, and that is the Mute going down. And that's only the Castle and Jaeger left for DeX, and the Thatcher for Veiled. Thatcher now has got Diffuser, and Jaeger knows. And will drop it in frustration, we will say. Jaeger is going to go around, is not going to try and flank. And with only 10 seconds left, Thatcher is going to have to push. Jaeger and Castle are both in position, and a headshot from Jaeger will kill King Curry, and it is 2-1 to DeX. Gee, I'm struggling today.
There we go. So, with DeX picked up their second round of the game, that's already equalled their tally from the match they had previously.
That hurts.
So, I'm actually going to spend some time here and deliberate over exactly what was played before. So, it's interesting. So, rematch, but it is interesting, and it's something for us to talk about. So the first 2 rounds of DeX's defense last time, they actually went CCTV cache first and lost them both before going to Church Arsenal and winning that. So what we've seen here is some clear evidence of them working on their CCTV cache. I'm not sure if that's something that you're aware of behind the scenes. Is that something that, you know, maybe just on a day they weren't particularly good at and have the lineup they wanted, but definite improvement was them being able to convincingly adapt and be able to pick up that win. And then of course they've already got that Church Arsenal win, so flicking back to the stream, because I am multiple seconds behind. Can you tell me what site they're going to?
Sorry?
Oh, we're going to Gym Bedroom. We're going to Gym Bedroom.
Yes, yeah. About what you were saying about working on CCTV, actually, after that match, just instantly we knew where we went wrong with CCTV. So, I mean, that's another positive. We just instantly knew, which is great. It seems like it has definitely paid off for that defense just there. You can keep talking if you have anything else to say.
It's all good.
Oh, we do see the Thatcher down actually already. Is that from the drone hole? What Legion was it? Not sure, but the Thatcher is down. Will get picked up, but that is minus 80 HP, I think. Which is big, as he is very important for this attack in particular. The Bandit will get the kill onto the Hibana, and that is one of the hard breaches down. It's all down to the Thermite now to try and open up the main wall in the bedroom defense. It's not being contested as of yet. That's Capitower getting 2 Legion mines in, and now he is lit, and as 2 players surveilled lit, and the Castle will hold an angle onto the garage window and will kill the Capitao. They are now opening up the CCTV wall. It's a 5v3 with 1 minute and 45 seconds left. That is 2 DeX players in CCTV, obviously thinking it's very important to hold. And I believe all the attackers are, CCTV side as well, so DeX shouldn't be too worried if they know this. C4
play out.
goes out. Yeah.
It's still had been 10 seconds behind, you see.
Yeah. I mean, 10 seconds isn't too bad. It could be worse.
It's an eternity, believe me.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. Kind of.
Swapping mags.
So now we see
The
the
longer
Thermite.
will be a round behind.
Yeah. Don't know. We do see the bandit getting lit up here by the Thatcher. The bandit has a suppressor. I'm sorry. What? Castle will get the kill onto the Thatcher, and now it's down to the Ying, who drops Hatch. Don't even think he wanted to do that, but he has. And Thermite with a double kill. Bad timing there for DeX, and now the round is back on. And it's a 2v2 with 20 seconds left. The nuke won't hit a shot onto the Ying. And yeah, just a bit of a potato fest just there. The Jaeger ADS is coming into play. Thermite gets the kill. Oh, and a C4 kill. And it's a 1v1. Oh, and Ying. Oh.
Well, on my side, my screen's crashed, so I've just got a picture of Ying just holding a candela on the main stairs. But I assume that was a win to the defenders. Is that correct?
Incorrect. Ying to the win for the attackers.
So we're going 2-2. Well, before we go any further, I want to give Billsy a shout out, as requested. Thanks for coming along and supporting us. This is a less than ideal setup, a little last minute, working with some latency issues, which isn't amazing. But we want to bring a cast, we want to try and bring some energy with whatever fibre we have left within our bodies today. So cheers for coming out, thanks for everyone else who's here, all 8 of you. I'm pretty sure I'm one of them, so...
I'm one of them.
That doesn't count.
So, 6. I mean, it was a bit last minute, to be fair.
It was, but hey, we're here, that's the main thing. Teams are here, we've got the match. This is what it's all about.
I mean, did you get like over 100 views per stream? Not live, but overall.
No. Yeah.
Which is still, it's something.
Well, yeah, if you you'll have a guaranteed full VOD view from me anyway. So that's one thing.
You probably get one from me as well, to be fair. In some cases.
So, we're back down in church in Arsenal. Now, if we remember, the first time that DeX came down here, they were unsuccessful in their first attempt, but it was a fairly close round. It kind of came down to basically just the attackers win the trades. Right? It was a 4v5 pretty much to the defenders' deficit, and everything just kind of happened within the last 45 seconds, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the attackers won the trades, and that's what happened. Is this King Curry getting killed in the same goal?
Yeah, exact same thing, only this time he got finished off. He actually got a kill or two the last round, I think, as well. I think he got a kill, or at least damaged Bandit, so he had a big predator play on that, on low HP. So this time he is gone, which is a start. But actually, about that last round, I'm surprised actually DeX didn't go back up there again. It was very successful. It was, what, a 5v3? You know, and I think they probably could have or should have gone up there again, up in bedroom, but it's up to them. The second church defense wasn't too bad either, but they have changed it up a little. They're not holding blue as strongly. They've no rotations into it, so they have changed that up a little. We see Ying in toilets now, and Jaeger knows, and Ying will get the kill onto the Jaeger, and Ying is on 50 HP. Still not too bad. We just see Twitch in blue, very casually walking into blue. That is the Maestro cam gone in blue now. They have no intel. The Twitch will start getting wallbanged a little, and Twitch headshots the Legion. Nice seeing a few wallbangs in play. And the Bandit is now rotating back. Oh, they are pushing Dirt this time. Haha. Dirt is being used by who? Hibana. The Hibana will get the kill onto the Maestro, not Maestro, Kaid. Now it's down to the Maestro and Bandit. Bandit gets the kill onto the Twitch. And that is Diffuser down. And the Maestro will kill the Thermite, and it's a 2v2 now. Diffuser is down, so I do believe the attackers are in a bit of an advantage, but not anymore maybe, as Bandit does get the kill onto the Ying, and it's all down to the Yabana now. Being pushed, a double kill maybe? No! We're not going to see a second double kill, and Maestro's going to have to make a move kind of soon. Yabana's going to watch blue. I don't think there's a rotation there. And their Yabana will get the kill onto the Maestro, and will clutch a 2v1.
Yeah, fair play to the Yabana there. Like, that round was not going in the defender's favour whatsoever. And it took a bit of a ballsy play from the attackers there to even just get that bomb down. You can see why, you know, like you pointed out right at the start of the round, they had no rotation into blue from the site. From church, of course, they had kill holes and whatnot, but like from the actual armory itself, they didn't, and it actually turned out to kind of bite them once they lost that control. So, you know, they're gonna go back down to church Arsenal.
That sounds Irish. A little.
Let's see. Oh, my accents are terrible. But I want to see if they do change things up a little bit. If they maybe like kind of open up the site a little bit more. Don't make it a safeguard, and because yeah, the attackers took some good initiative there, and of course it kind of fell down to a 1v2. Pretty sure it was the Bandit of Ambiguous. He got a little bit unfortunate there, kind of caught in that crossfire. And in all honesty, the Maestro was lucky not to get killed within the same bullet swing. But the Yabana finished off the job. At time working in their favour. Only had one door to watch because of the rotations that we talked about. So fair play to the Yabana and the rest of the attack team. And it's not looking like they're going to switch off of that, you know, that one element of their setup there, having the rotation between Arsenal and blue. So what I'm expecting to see is maybe committing more bodies to Arsenal itself. In which case the attackers will probably not want to attack the exact same way they did through blue, because they'll just end up just getting bottlenecked into a lot of pre-aimed weapons. One of them probably being the Alda, which is ever so strong. The real question is will King Code be spawn killed yet again from the garage?
No, he spawned eastern side this time.
Oh look, he's still too close to the Irish.
Oh, but the Bandit will get the spawn, well, he was basically spawn picking kind of onto the Yabana. So that is realistically what, maybe half is gone? Oh, the Bandit just couldn't see through his head, and will miss his follow-up shots then. So that is another early death for Veiled actually. So even with these early deaths, they have been winning the rounds, which is a bit worrying for DeX. The Kaid will get the kill onto the Twitch now. And 5v3 with 2 minutes to go. 2 early kills. For
yeah, you're
DeX.
absolutely right. Like they had they had the first kill on the round before, and then they didn't even kill Curry the round before that. But they got him down, remember? So
yeah.
Like, he was still on 20 HP as good as dead. So yeah, good point on that.
So Jaeger will get the kill onto the Ying, and it's a 5v2 now with Thatcher and Thermite. Probably the biggest duo in Rainbow Six. You know, if you have a Thermite, you're gonna have a Thatcher and stuff. So pretty big duo here. They're both in construction and yeah, they're both in construction. They are gonna drop hatch down into blue bar, or not blue bar. What am I on about? What map is? Oh, my head's gone. Onto stage, we'll say. They are gonna get one hatch. Bandit is still upstairs. He's gonna try and maybe peek a little, but they have now backed off, and they're gonna try and maybe attack blue this time. These Legion mines are, I believe anyway, they're affecting Veiled a little. They don't seem to have an IQ to pick it off. Thatcher just can't get the Maestro cam. Legion now holding a sweaty angle. Surely he's gonna get one kill. No one's gonna pick this. But Kaid will get a kill onto the Thermite, and it's all down to the Thatcher. in blue does down the key with only 15 seconds left. Jaeger jumps down, doesn't get the kill. Maestro will get the... Bandit will actually get the kill in the end. Will probably steal Maestro's kill. I think Maestro would have had that. And what, round 6 goes to DeX, 3-3 at half.
At this point, I need you to... It's calling you right now to deal with some very important stuff in the server.
Ooh.
Would you mind if you went and dealt with that quickly? I can quite happily talk for a wee bit if you need. Apparently, shit has hit the proverbial fan. It's hopefully not too bad, but yeah, you are needed away. I can cover though if needed.
What the? What happened to the fucking server?
Yes, this will be in the DMs.
What?
Ah dear, they're like, we won't say much more about this on stream, but like, if you want to go and deal with that just now, because you will be needed, I can hold this as long as there's a connection. I can keep all of this. I'll cast in 10 seconds in the past. All good?
Okay. Oh, this is not the day for this to happen.
Don't worry about it, dude. Yeah. Right, you go away and do that. I'll deal with this just now. So, aside from that, this this match, as a reminder, is a rematch. Okay. For anyone who wasn't here, the reason it was a rematch is just because there was a small. It was so much the team's fault, but there was a miscommunication in terms of team losses, and it ended up creating an unfair advantage for one of our teams. And the resolution to this was just to host the exact same match, same map, same time, same date, just a week later, and same op bans as well. To basically have a fair rematch, and both teams agreed to it, and this is where we are just now. The previous match was 7-2 in the blue team's favour, which is Veil, against DeX, which is now the orange team, starting on attack. So as you can see, DeX has definitely made some improvements. They got one side rounds on the defense and one side rounds on the attack. So picking up those 3 rounds on the defense has really been marginally better than what they were able to do before. So it's kind of interesting. I was having a look at some of their stats from the previous game because we did track those, and they've definitely made some improvements on the sites. So now we're going to turn our attention to what Veiled can do in defense as they start up the CCTV cache, while DeX are on the other foot on the attacking side this time. Having a look at the lineup seems fairly standard. Once again, as a reminder, I am 10 seconds in the past, so being able to call play by play is not easy. Probably have this top down attack. But just looking at the lineups, it seems like a standard take. This is like the kind of operator lineup you would normally see Iger run, who are quite proficient on this map, barring maybe instead of a Capital, maybe a Maverick. Although with the recent buffs to Capital, I am not surprised whatsoever to see him here. He has become very strong on all of the area denial. Well, the area denial buffs that he has made bandit tracking a living hell for anyone that thinks he's TV. So as you can see, in terms of utility, they've not actually brought anything at all. So where I'm at just now is we have Juju on what seems to be, yep, that's it. He's just died about 10 minutes into the future in a 4v1. That looks... Are you doing alright there, Fitzy?
Yeah.
That's so good. I'm holding the fort. Okay, I'm holding the fort.
Yeah, I can just hear in the background and you seem to be doing okay. Just panic stations here.
Yeah. Just make sure you put some unlisted, so that this VOD will never ever be seen again by anyone other than myself.
You know I'm going to purposely promote this now. I'm going to purposely promote this.
No, do not. I'm trying to take it seriously, but in all honesty, I'm trying to make lightheartedness of a very last-minute situation that that we're kind of forced into. So, what do we have here? So, we're going down to Church Arsenal Room, and we have a similar yet different setup on the defense in terms of like the anchor players. We have a similar lineup. The main thing I'm seeing here is the additional roamer. Instead of the preferred kind of flex operator, the kind of offsite anchor that is Legion, and with those you get those goo mines as well, which of course are going to be super handy for the hatch tricking for preventing the Hibana pellets, which has become very popular recently. But as you can see, by blind counter or not, there is no Hibana on the board. There is a thermite, so the thermite will be forced to basically split his utility. There's two exosonic charges between either one or multiple hatches. Escape tolerance possibility, of course, although as Fixie said earlier, it's not as preferred an option for pushing anymore, with nerfs to recent operators and buffs to others, of course. So what does that leave? It leaves the blue tunnel, which of course you can push through where King Courage is reinforced into the Arsenal Room, or of course into the church. And one of my favourite takes personally is actually just taking control of the motor hatch. That's where I'd be using one of my thermic charges, pushing down main stairs, and opening up the church wall that we see here in the northwest corner of that particular objective, planting what we call default underneath the dartboard, and basically using that as your stronghold. Anchoring from motor post plant. These are all ideals, obviously. With the view that we've got, I will only be able to watch our two heroes on the anchor donder about as we're in. We're still within the first 2.5 minutes, so therefore they will not be needed for an incredible amount of work. So one thing I didn't notice is that they've actually put a blitz to this round, so they've decided to kind of up the ante. This will allow them to push down the main stairs, which is kind of like leading into one of the last options I was going into in terms of a thermite-based attack. We have the thermite with a diffuser, so that's showing intention that the pace of the objective play is going to be played around thermite himself. But as I'm talking, it's the blitz that is taken down first. Sorry, not first, but first for the attackers anyway, which is obviously going to hurt that push. One powerful operator off the board very early on. As I see now, it's a 2v2 situation with plenty of time on the board, about a minute left. Both defenders have retreated back down to site and are on a healthy amount of HP. The Maestro kicking about 75. The thermite is very low, which will kind of hinder his ability to do much in terms of opening up walls and, you know, keeping himself from danger when he's vulnerable while doing so. However, the Capital is still a very strong operator. I'm not sure how much utility it has left, but Ambiguous has been hitting the shots today. So, if there's anyone who can perform on that Capital, I would bet it would be Ambiguous out of these 10 players that we have today. So we'll have to see what happens, and I will come back to you once it is done, as I cannot do a play-by-play. And there we have it, we have the defenders picking up that round. Kind of expected from my point of view. The health advantage was in their favour. They didn't have the pressure of time, obviously. They were kind of working with it. They still had two very capable operators, and I believe a C4. So that round kind of went as expected, and what we see now is they all start to pull away in the round count in the same way that they did in the first time matching up on this map. and in this situation last week. I'll remind you the score of that was 7-2. Of course, it's going to be null voided by the time this match is done, but of course, from my perspective, since I have the stats to hand now, it's a fair point to bring up, because you can see the differences in operator choices. You can see the changes in how much preparation is put into certain sites. So the strategy to make them stronger, and we already saw that on the first half from DeX, being able to transform their CCTV hold into some sort of winning combination where it was not there before. It looks like we're going to be going to gym bedroom now, which is probably the second least favoured site on the map. Our stock is just in a state at the minute where not a lot of teams will like to go with it unless you want to bring out a pocket strat, something unorthodox, or maybe just kind of a Hail Mary and play some aggressive siege for a little bit. In terms of the attack lineup, I've decided not to go ahead with the blitz, instead kind of bring a more fragment potential and IQ in the sledge instead. So, my big thing with this site is the jacuzzi wall. The jacuzzi wall for me is very pivotal to this site. If the attacker has control of it, it makes it very hard for defenders to maneuver in between logistics, between stairs, and around the site itself. You can't really see it from this perspective, but most of the times what defenders will do is make gym into a trap itself and try and anchor within the bathroom, within some of the nooks and crannies on the A-bomb site instead. However, if the attackers have the jacuzzi wall, then it makes it that much harder for the defenders to anchor. However, the thermite has been taken down within the first 2.5 minutes, so that's obviously not a very good pick for the defenders, for the attackers to have taken off the wall early, if anyone. They will have no access to that jacuzzi wall from the outside looking in, and they will be forced to probably push from the windows or up the main stairs, and then alternatively through cache and through into construction. We can see Ambiguous making his way through to the east side of the map just now. As I say, just kind of going through server, going through cache. He's going to look to engage this castle here. Seem to be having a bit of difficulty with that castle barricade. Of course, having control of cache allows you to have more control of construction, so a very deliberate placement by the castle there, and it's obviously done its job. Judging by IQ's deliberation, I'm pretty sure that IQ decided to bring the Claymore instead of the breaching charges, which would obviously would have helped in this moment. 1v1 situation, and from this perspective I have no idea where the Jaeger is, but I would assume protecting the diffuser, which seems to be on the floor below. As I see it, the IQ has picked up the diffuser. Oh, thank you, Fitzy. Better late than never.
I wasn't that late, like I still got the kill.
So good. Britain wins the 1v1 after what I can see is just a very standard adjustment from getting the defuse down early on in bar and forcing the IQ to take management to come up with the objective and be in the position where the Jaeger can fight or flight. Fight and get the kill, he will. Otherwise he can run away, waste more time, because the IQ has to go all the way back up to the bomb site to defuse the bomb. How's things going your end? Are they all good?
Improving.
Improving. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You carry on. Yeah. Right now we're on. Veils have secured their points, so congratulations to them. A point will obviously help them in the standings. What? However, the 3 points will be what they're after ultimately. And we are seeing another shield brought out. However, it is not the Blitz. However, it's not the Blitz. However, we are going for a more conservative Montagna instead. And the diffuser, I'm not sure. I don't mind the shield player taking the diffuser. Obviously, I would prefer the diffuser to not be planted by the shield player. But again, this is kind of like the same concept as giving it to your hard breacher. If you have the diffuser traveling with your hard breacher or your shield player, it kind of controls the pace of the objective. Things happen when they're supposed to happen, as opposed to giving it to an Ash, giving it to someone who's going to run in and drop the diffuser early. What we saw in the last round was Zermatt dropping the diffuser very early on in a less than ideal place. So this is something attacking, okay, at different sites, at the same floor, similar situations. The attacker is going to have to be careful not to give the defenders this much of an advantage, especially with two very capable roamers on the board in Vigil and Caviera, and one annoying as hell operator, Vision. Britain gets first kill on the hookage, the Thatcher. Nice opening kill there. Fading back out. Nope, no, it's not quite true. Britons continue to rain terror onto the attackers. We now have what I see as a 3v4. Sorry, a 4v3 in the defender's favor rather. As I see it, so that it will be a 1v4 situation. Montagna, very low health with diffuser. Yep, not gonna happen. Defenders are in round 10, and that will be 7-3 to Veiled. A slight downgrade from the 7-2 win that they got last week, but dealt with in a fair, in terms of the rematch. This was all dealt with. This is all absolute now. We will not need to have this match again, unless of course both teams make it off to playoffs. Fitzy, I'm not sure if you're there, but we should probably close out the stream. Just having a look at this final scoreboard, we've got Britain on the board, 13 kills, top fragger. It's not been up long enough for me to kind of look into it too much longer. But very strong performance by there, and in the second half getting a lot of early first picks, whilst not being traded out at the same time. Other notable performances come to mind. Ambiguous, very strong on that bandit in the first half, always having a hand in the majority of the defender rounds that he played in. Very well played at him too, but ultimately Veiled walk away with 3 points, which is going to be incredibly important for them in their playoff race. Meanwhile, DeX have had their second match today and their second loss today, so they'll be very disappointed after only picking up 7 rounds between both of those matches. It's going to hurt their points differential a little bit.
Just tell me when you want me to end it.
I was about to say, thank you for anyone that was watching. This was a bit of an awkward stream. It was very last minute, slightly tongue-in-cheek, but thanks for coming along. We'll be back next week.
We have a match tomorrow, 7 PM. ARG0 against Eagle. AMZ, I think, if he shows up. Sorry, AMZ.